I've made a trilogy of videos on anime, so I want to talk about something related to anime that is not animated, but something that is very, very real. When you think of an anime fan, what comes to mind? A regular person? Nice. Now, I won't speak for everyone, but I'm sure majority of people think of stinky, weird, and degenerate people, either at conventions or running amok in the world. Of course, if you're watching this video, you probably aren't a part of this group. You know, we shower, we use deodorant, but with so many people that are like this, that are known for being anime fans, it eventually puts a bad name on anime fans and eventually anime itself. The most famous bunch is hands down the people we see on the internet. The ones constantly on Twitter and such, uploading on YouTube and TikTok. They aren't always in plain sight, of course. With the internet being so vast, you are bound to find all sorts of people from all over the world. Now, it being a good thing or a bad thing all depends on the people you meet. Now, I won't get too deep on all the kinds of people who use or sometimes reside on the internet. So let's just put a spotlight on the kinds of anime fans who post some fairly weird things. For those who don't know, anime series obviously have fan bases, which are called fandoms. So we'll begin with probably the one most people find pretty yucky. Boku no Hero Academia, also known as My Hero Academia, or just My Hero, is an anime that began in 2016 and has been ongoing since, with 6 seasons and a 7th supposedly in production, as well as receiving 3 animated films and plans for a 4th and 8 original video animations, or OVAs, with its manga counterpart selling 85 million. So without a doubt, a very successful anime and manga. Its only glaring issue seems to be what happens when you surf through the internet and or tell people that you watch it, this issue being the fans. As I did my research on this fandom, I kept seeing the main reason for all the hate the fandom gets is its fanships. Shipping refers to the desire by fans for 2 or more people to be in a relationship, romantic or otherwise. In My Hero's case, it's just a lot of ships, and I mean a lot. Now, across all of anime, I'm sure there's lots of ships, but the problem with the My Hero fandom is they take it to a whole new level. Shipping wars are apparently a common occurrence in the My Hero fandom, where fans debate and argue about which characters should be romantically paired together. As I said before, this happens in almost all fandoms, but personally, I have never in my life seen it get to the point where I hear more about the shipping than the anime itself. What I have seen is hate on the relationship between Ochako and Deku. Ochako is clearly Deku's main love interest since her introduction. He blushes around her, gets butterflies when she calls him. Later in the anime, Ochako is telling all her girlies that she does in fact like Deku. Thus, I believe this ship is very canon, but it's also very hated on. Majority of them being the shippers that get the most attention from people outside the fandom. They ship people like Deku x Bakugo, Bakugo x Todoroki, etc. Basically toxic yaoi fans, which are just people who are big fans of romantic or sexual relationships between male characters. I'm not trying to say it's wrong to ship 2 male characters together, but when it's to the point where people are fighting other people to prove whether their headcanon is real is beyond my comprehension. To bring it back to a more anime related topic, I bring to the jury the incident of the manga panel versus anime screenshot. As much as I wanted to bring this into evidence and to go deep on this topic, I can't for the fucking life of me find the tweet. So I will explain what I loosely remember. As I was trying to find this tweet, it felt like a fucking Mandela effect. I couldn't find anything on it. So if you guys also remember it, drop a like or comment down below, because I, quite frankly, lost my fucking mind looking for this. It was a tweet where it compared a manga panel and the clip of Hawks walking down the street, and the difference between the two were some minor details. There is this that is more or less complaining that it isn't a 1-to-1 recreation. Personally, I just want my shit to look normal. Attack on Titan is even more popular than My Hero Academia, being in the top 13 of the list of best-selling manga with approximately 110 million copies sold. The anime began in 2013, airing until today, with a total of 88 episodes, with the 4th and final season being split into 3 parts, and the final part of those 3 parts were split into 2 halves. The final half of part 3, aka the ending, is expected to drop sometime in fall 2023. If you have been watching Attack on Titan from the beginning and did some research after seeing like a really cool animation sequence, you'd probably know that seasons 1 through 3 were animated by Wit Studio, and leading into the 4th and final season, it would switch to Studio Mappa. The reason why was explained by an AOT producer. While season 3 was in production, we consulted with Wit Studio, and it was decided that the final season would be created by a different production studio. As creators, we wanted the anime to escalate even further. Through many talks with Wit Studio, we understood that the anime continuation would be difficult, so we looked for a new studio, and so they landed with Mappa, as they were told by dozens of studios that they empathetically could not accept. Which for me personally, I was like, wow, a cool new studio that's gonna animate this new season. I know they did Jujutsu Kaisen, this is gonna be epic, cool, amazing. And coincidentally, the anime is having a 4-year time stick, so new animation, it's gonna rock, dude. which ended up being wrong but right. What MAPPA has done with the final season is nothing short of beautiful, but others think differently. With MAPPA taking over, they had some crazy deadlines, so they had to cut some corners when it came to animation. Most notably, the CGI for the Titans. The CGI isn't completely fucking berserk level bad. MAPPA did an amazing job with it, but at the end of the day, these are sometimes the focal points of the scene, so it being CGI makes it jarring. I personally didn't mind it much at all. It didn't take away anything from the viewing experience for me. Although me and lots of other people don't mind it, there is still going to be the other part of the fan base that will hate on it and call MAPPA trash because of it. Which, no hate to which studio, they have animated some amazing scenes for AOT and also some animes that I've really enjoyed, but the worst CGI in the whole show was the Colossal Titan that they did. Not only the animation slash CGI, but as well as the music. The fucking music. Back in January 2021, quote unquote fans of the show bashed the creative director of the episode to the point he had to go private. The thing is, it's not like he used SpongeBob music for it. These quote-unquote fans wanted the OST of season 2 to be playing when Eren made his grand ambush, which I understand the OST is hard, but harassing someone for not putting your favorite song is dumb. Now, if the jury would please turn to page 44 in the biggest offenders section 3, an anime a part of my great to not watch list, we have Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Its first episode was aired on October 4th, 2003, earning a great score on sites like IMDb, MyAnimeList, and Crunchyroll, etc. But the real star of the show is its counterpart, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Conceived in order to create a faithful adaptation that directly follows the entire storyline of the original manga, after 2003's Full Metal Alchemist anime series strayed away from it to tell its own story after running out of published manga material to adapt. With 64 episodes from April 2009 to July 10th, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood earned acclaim from critics and audiences, and is considered to be one of the best anime series of all time. As someone who has only seen the first episode, I won't speak on it being the best of all time, but from the outside hearing accusations of the fandom review bombing other animes isn't a good look. To my knowledge, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood fans on my anime list have reviewed bombed at least twice since 2021. At first, it was against Fruit Basket's final season, and the second time happening a year later when Bleach: The Thousand Year Blood War as well as Chainsaw Man took over Full Metal Alchemist spot, bumping it down to 3rd place. Now what followed was a 3-day long review bomb battle, knocking Bleach down to 2nd and Chainsaw Man to 13th. As of today, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood remains at the top of my anime list's top anime list. That's a lot of lists. Yet many argue that Full Metal Alchemist is one of the best out there, period. Do you think it should have the top spot? To end this section off, I would like to highlight the fact that no kind of fandom brings down the quality of an anime. If its fandom is really fucking weird, but its anime is a masterpiece, then at the end of the day, the anime is a masterpiece. Your anime experience is not affected by the fans of that anime. The possibly only time it could become an issue is maybe meeting them in person or trying to connect with them on the internet. Now this section could possibly cause you pain, not physical pain like a car crash or something, but pain like watching this and wanting to jump off a skyscraper. Unfortunately, weirdos on the internet have to leave the house once in a while, causing a bunch of people to suffer. Now let's begin with where much of this most likely started. I'm sure that back in school you saw a kid running a certain way. We all have heard of Naruto. It's a part of the big 3 in anime, probably one of the most well-known anime ever, so kids would watch and sometimes end up running like the characters they saw on the big TV. But the running style doesn't exactly translate well into real life. Inevitably, these kids would be made fun of. I suppose some kids may see them running and would be like, what's that from? And they see it's about ninjas and stuff like that, so they'll watch it, but some won't give it a chance because Weirdo Billy from class watches it. Now, it's not bad with children, as most shonen like Naruto and Dragon Ball are up their alley because of other shows they might watch like Power Rangers and things like that. The bigger problem is when adults do it. Let me introduce to you Anime Expo, a place where fans of anime and manga gather together to celebrate their interest. With it being the largest celebration of Japanese pop culture in North America, featuring the best in Japanese entertainment, music, fashion, and video games, I'm not saying it's a bad thing for anime in any way. Someone who knows nothing about anime may come across it and see all the cool cosplays and may get into anime. Or this person can walk by someone who smells horrid. Anime Expo and other anime cons are good. Fans of animes and creators that attend interacting with each other over something that they like and find in common. Then comes the weirdos that ruin it for everyone. Anime cons are known to stink like absolute dog shit. Now if you plan to go to one, don't worry, I doubt it's the venue or everyone in the building that stinks like they walked through Triceratops shit, but do expect, at the very least, walk past someone who took a shower in a porta potty. Anime Expo 2023 gave the anime community an even worse look. It was overcrowded. With these massive lines, you can just imagine the inside. It's going to take hours and hours to get through these lines, and of course, the body has bodily functions. Apparently, there was piss puddles, but I couldn't see any evidence, but there was much evidence of people who attended speaking about the horrible smell of BO there. Lots of people, surprisingly, don't shower. It's unfortunate that anime fans usually have this stigma of stinking. As you can see from these videos, everyone is so very packed up together, so you must imagine the hell they went through from the pure must of these people. Something else that unfortunately isn't new is predominantly men harassing women cosplayers. For the longest, I can personally remember I have heard women cosplayers being harassed, sexually harassed, and sexually assaulted. These things have been happening in conventions to cosplayers for a long time, and it is in no way okay. Groups like Cosplay is Not Consent and Geeks for Consent have raised awareness about harassment at conventions. Anime Expo has volunteers who are known creeps.
Has messaged my friends inappropriate things. I have receipts. I could use more if anybody has them. Has groped underage cosplayers. We're not going to dive into that. You already know that. And probably other inappropriate things. This troglodyte volunteers at Anime Expo.
In 2015, a cosplayer reported being groped by a man in public at Anime Expo. It is horrible that people like this continue to exist and still happen. Cosplayers are and continue to be some of the coolest people in the anime community. Lots of cosplayers put a lot of care into their cosplays, and you can see it in its results. Cosplayers go to these conventions to be with their friends and to show off their cosplays that they've been working on for so long, but unfortunately, weirdos at conventions seem to think it's okay to touch and stalk cosplayers. To end it off, let's talk about the fandoms that attend these events and do some things that aren't exactly seen in the best light. Yes, there are no denying that amazing cosplays for My Hero Academia exist and attend these events. Now, I don't hate the cosplay they have on, but I will make fun of their actions. It's understandable that you want to meet up with people that like the same anime as you, but damn, can't you like look at the different figures and shit? Find out what other animes they like or talk about your favorite parts of the anime over some food? Why are you outside making these cringy ass videos? Please do something else. Expanding on the topic of cringy videos, I want to talk about these since I'm sure you've seen them at least a little bit.
I can't believe I'm gonna have a baby with Todoroki.
And I won't talk about this one until much later, but I will bring up TikTok. There is no need to explain what TikTok is, but some videos are god-awful. Many people use TikTok as a way to grow their channels and gain awareness for a cause because lots of people don't watch the news. So TikTok is another way to get information. Like through TikTok, I heard about the fires happening in Maui for the first time. So a video like this spreading to such a wide range of audiences, and you're doing cringy stuff like that, that's going to put a bad look for the community and start making people regret that they say that they're anime fans. You may be saying, so what? People are going to be weird anywhere you go. That is true, but I highly doubt you see their actions and say, yeah, I want to be just like that. Let's be real. Every fan base has those bad apples that give threats and are geppettos that just straight fucking stink like booty. And once we admit people like this in the community do exist, we can also admit that they are a big factor in people staying away from anime. Think about it like this. An anime has been released that you think one of your friends that don't watch anime would like. So you go up to them and say, yo, this anime Tokyo Revengers just dropped, I think you'd really like it. And they tell you that, nah, a bunch of weirdos watch that anime bullshit. With places like AnimeCon known for smelling like fish and kids embarrassingly Naruto running, etc., drives away some people who won't ever give anime a chance. We could also say that this example doesn't really matter much because I'm sure I can speak for many that if it stops you from watching anime, it's probably better that you just don't watch it at all. But this reasoning can also work on people who have watched anime. I would like to give a personal experience for this one. In 2020, I completed Haikyuu. At this point, it was probably my favorite sports anime. I binged the first 3 seasons and watched both parts of season 4 as it came out. So I obviously liked the anime. Then around 2021, I believe, it was announced that the manga was ending. And I was like, damn, I really liked it. Blah, 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 you know, same old. Sometime later, I saw a video of a girl crying it was ending and thanking its characters. So I saw this and thought to myself, does Haikyuu deserve another season? Now, of course, Haikyuu isn't so bad that it doesn't deserve another season. You know, Haikyuu didn't go to shit like other anime. But when I saw this video, I questioned whether or not I wanted to keep watching the anime. So if I had that kind of experience with an anime I already binged and liked, imagine this happening to a person who hasn't watched the anime and now won't because of a weirdo they saw either in person or online. As a person who watches anime, you probably will have an idea of how fandoms and stuff are. So you may not judge the anime based on the fandom, which is what you should do. You could be saying, oh, the fandom doesn't even affect the anime really. Yes, it does. To bring it back to the first offenders, the My Hero Academia fandom is probably the most notably hated on. So if you tell a friend, oh yeah, I watched a new season of My Hero. Did you have Todoroki's baby too? Personally, I brought it up at a New Year's party and got laughed at. If telling people that you watch a specific anime in a time period where watching anime is much more normalized, and from the perspective of the onlooker who has not watched it yet, why would they watch it now? Why would they purposely put themselves in a position to get bullied when they don't want to? Now don't get me wrong, lots of people and probably you don't care about what others have to say. You watch so-and-so anime and you're proud. Congratulations, I'm glad you have that resolve. But you of course are different. different. I'm not saying you're the fucking avatar, but I'm saying that there's no duplicate of you. So other people aren't at the same resolve and don't want to watch animes that will get them ostracized. If you watch this video and can relate to any example, not as a victim, but as a person doing it, it's fine. If you're young, you still have time to learn to shower and other hygiene techniques, to not Naruto run to a place, to separate real life and fiction. And if you're an adult and a perpetrator of these things, then it's over for you. Kill you. Although as a YouTuber who enjoys talking about shows and animes that I like, I'm gonna talk about why for a while I wasn't watching anime.